Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the Carenado ATR 72-500 and we are flying for Finnair, or at least with a Finnair livery, so no virtual airline action today. And we're flying from Seinäjoki to Helsinki-Vantaa airport, and yeah, I think that's about it. A short and sweet flight. This is such a flight that has taken place in real life, probably multiple times, but I found at least one evidence of it taking place. Flown by Fincom back in 2010, so probably would have had a bit of a different livery. But as it was a Finnair, I'm gonna assume it was a Finnair route that was then kind of, what's it called, like leased, or maybe they had to like rent Fincom. I thought it was appropriate to fly it with a Finnair livery. I'm pretty sure they've been flying it after that as well with the ATR. You see them quite often at Helsinki Vantaa airport. At least the last time I was there, about 1 week ago, I saw a few. So, what else can we tell us or say about this airport? Not much. Small airport. This is a freeware version, but it works pretty nice. Not sure though with some of these buildings. P3D is always a bit weird with the kind of buildings, and sometimes they'll work and sometimes you'll have some weird or like the default buildings will show through. You can fix that, and I usually do that, but sometimes it doesn't fix it. So a bit of hit and miss. As with all the Carenado aircrafts, they look absolutely beautiful from the outside. Very well made aircraft in that regard. From a P3D perspective, I would say. So maybe not from a Microsoft flight sim perspective, right? When you zoom in, you notice it's not that crisp. But from a P3D perspective, it's very well made aircrafts. Specifically here at the engines, you know, it just looks very good. And they have these nice, what do you call them? On top wings, on top of the fuselage, something like that. And you can see we're already having some bugs here with the lines on the ground missing from certain perspectives, but oh well, we'll make do. And yeah, generally a lot of detail for a P3D aircraft, so very nice in that regard. And let's see if it works though, as it should. It's always a bit of a hit and miss with that as well, but one can hope. We'll actually go here to the back. Everything looked good, no unflyable wear and tear. So we can board the plane. I'm gonna, well, we kind of directly came into the cockpit, and as you can see, I've chosen the blue color scheme. Not sure if we had this the last time I flew. I think I flew Finnair with this one like 8 months ago on the YouTube channel. But I think Finnair had the blue interior, so I decided to change to that. A bit sucky that I don't have an EFB here. Would really work well. And as you can see, it's maybe even better looking on the inside. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what viewpoints we have, because we have a few of them. And interestingly enough, they work quite well actually. Do we have anything in front? Don't think so. This one looks a bit boring, isn't it? Maybe we can get like a GoPro viewpoint if we get it placed nicely. It looks very good on the inside this aircraft as well, so that's something that okay, let's see if we can find the right, maybe it's about the zoom level a bit. Something like this might work. Gonna save this I'll have to double check the outside viewpoints as well, just to make sure. Yeah, we can keep that, I guess. Yeah, okay, so we need to just fix these quickly, remove the transition thing. It looks pretty cool with the transition. The problem is just that it's not that nice sometimes when it kind of breaks through the fuselage, or that's my take on it. Okay, let's see, I forgot to change one of the first ones, I think, these two. Okay, we have some okay views, nothing spectacular. Not a big fan of this one. Is there something else we could add, like something like this maybe? Yeah, that could be a bit nicer, I think. This one is also a bit boring, to be frank. But yeah, not always the easiest to find like a good setup for the views. Maybe something like this would be nice, considering that you get both kind of engines showing. I think we can make do with this. It's not the best viewpoints, but they'll suffice. First things first, we need to load up the airplane. We'll do it the old dirty way by just using the inbuilt P3D way of doing it. And in terms of fuel, we should not have a lot, 4,000 give or take. So we can even go lower than this. And even lower than that, or maybe not that low. What around that low should do. Gross weight is almost 32, but we can go much higher. So let's force that up a bit. Now we are at 42,955. We should be around 44. 44.2 maybe. And now we can decrease a bit. 44.3. Let's do 44.55. Maybe we can add a bit, a tiny bit, something like that. Yeah, that should do. Yes, we're a bit heavier now. I do wonder if we're too heavy. Felt like the nose really came down there. Let me see what's the max. 5,500. Maybe we're a bit too heavy. Gonna do 10,000 this one. 1,500 on the aft one. Or maybe that's just the way it is when it is a bit heavier. But okay, that should be okay, I think. I'm gonna convert just quickly to check. Yeah, we are within. For the aft one, we don't have too much baggage. Would be nice if you could see the baggage in here as well, but can't have everything. It's a very good livery as well, I think. Very nice looking, the Finnair livery on this one. Quite clean. I hate when we lose the nice, what do you call it, markings on the ground. Always a bit annoying. And, well, c'est la vie. Okay, let's see, we can start the batteries, I think, first things first. We don't have any Let me see. Ah, that's annoying. We have that bug. I'm just gonna fix it, so I'm gonna pause very quickly before I'll be right back. There we go. Now we have the lights working, so you have to sometimes restart, basically reload another aircraft and then it will work. But now it is working. I also noticed we're a bit weirdly parked, but I'm gonna assume this is GSX. I guess technically we could move back a bit. It's always a bit of hit and miss with these GSX parking spots, unfortunately. Something like that might be okay, I think. Okay, this is not a high fidelity aircraft, something I wanna make sure everyone understands. But it is a pretty cool one. Works pretty well when it works. You can do all of these that are on off, we can put those on. We have an external power button, but I don't think it really does anything, so that's a tad bit of a bummer. So all of these that are off, we can put to on. Maybe not the bleeds though. But that we can. It's not a lot of system depth, so keep that in mind. Even though you can click a lot of things, they don't really do that much. Okay, one thing we're just gonna double check is if we can load this aircraft up again. I mean, we already did this, right? But unfortunately, when you reload, you do have to do it again. Luckily, I kind of remember what we had loaded. So we should be okay. Looks like we are okay, so that's good to see. We have a Simbrief flight plan. Nothing spectacular. Quite a long one, but not too bad. We can mainly have a look at the weather first, just to see what the risks we are. Maybe a bit of severe icing at 180, but it's kind of at the end, so we should be fine. We'll have a headwind most of the flight. But otherwise it looked pretty good. Let's have a look at our arrival and departure. Yeah, it looks okay. Some clouds here and there. And but otherwise it's looking good. Few at 5, some at some higher altitudes, but yeah, fine at Vantaa, fine here. So it should all be alright. Visibility is also looking good. So that's perfect. And before I start putting in our flight plan, I'm gonna have to quickly pause again. There we go. Now we can go back to planning. Have to take care of a number of things. Okay, so we need to do pilot to ADC will usually work best. We just need to select the right call sign thingamabob in pilot to ADC, and then we need to do the import function to import our flight plan from Simbrief. And we need to check, it's all on directs, which I find very interesting. Mainly in terms of arrival, because we do have this looks correct. So I guess there's a new this Laku one, but that's fine. We can add that. And we'll add the approach. We'll do the ILS one with the vectoring think we don't really have the capability to fly anything else. 17,000 does sound correct. We'll validate and we'll file. I will connect just about, but I first off just want to make sure we have everything set up here. So we have a bit of an older database, and this is not the, well, to be frank, this is a really bad CDU. We can keep the position. We know where we're flying. And where's the, oh sorry, I brought it up, so I'm gonna move it down. Our alternate is EFTP. It's kind of on the way. Original runway is gonna be 32. We can't put that in. We can, however, put in our flight plan. So I'm gonna do departures first. Okay, we don't really have any there, so we can just do Amasu. From Amasu, we're going to Eneti. From Eneti, we're flying the Y362 to Lakut. Well, that's at least good that we can get the airways. It's not always so certain. We're landing on the ILS to 4 right. We're doing the Laku one. So now we should have most of these set up. Yeah, it looks correct, so that's good. So actually in today we managed to set it up pretty well. Fuel reserves, fuel required. I don't think performance, nothing we can really add. We can do directs. Let me just check menu. Waypoint, you can choose a bit what you're showcasing on the menu. Another sucky part is that these are connected, which I don't think they are in reality. We can hide that. And usually I think, let me just, can we change that one? Yeah, we can. Hide that. No work with that one. You can open a lot of stuff though. The nose wheel steering doesn't seem to budge. We can open these so they don't cover anything. We can even put in our flight number, I think. So let's say if we had the 403 that I always use, that would work. But okay, in terms of this screen, now it was a while. Maybe it was actually here. So map, this is usually, you can choose between different one. This one might be good. That seems to be brightness, but we can do the decision height actually. I finally found it again. It just took me a bit of time, but okay, that's good. Okay, so we do have decision height on this one, so it isn't, it wasn't a lie. I did remember correctly. One thing we can do is also do the boarding. We'll just do something very simple. I'm just doing the pack X1 on my other screen. Let me see if I can quickly set it up. ATR, we should have one for the 500. Yes, we do. We'll do 20 packs just to have it go a bit quicker. I guess we have Wi-Fi, I'm not sure. maybe not back in 2010, but you do have Wi-Fi in, I would assume nowadays. It's a while since I flew with an ATR actually. I can't even remember on top of my head when I did it the last time. So there we go, we have the boarding. We don't need a pushback tug, we don't need no crew. Some things I guess would be already fixed for once the people start arriving, which is hopefully soon. I'm gonna connect to the sim while we wait with pilot to ADC, and I'm also gonna, and let's see, it always takes a bit of time for it to load.
At
One
6
nice,
knots.
okay, let me
Visibility
change
6
quick because we don't need to listen to the 80s. One of the nice things is also that you do have the, what's it called? The rain effect actually with these windshields. I think this is the only one of the ATR that has that. But let's listen to the 80s just to get the QNH.
Dew 0.6. Current QNH is 1012. Arriving and departing runway 32.
That's the only thing we need. Everything else should be fine. 1012. Doors, parking brake, that's set. And I guess we don't have that thing. I think you want to press that once if I'm not mistaken. Finnair 4003, ready to copy IFR clearance. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're getting the
4003 is cleared to Echo
the
Foxtrot
boarding.
Hotel Kilo as filed.
Not working as good as it should, but oh well.
Tree 2. Climb and maintain flight level 060. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Squawk 3144.
Not sure what I pressed. Oh, there we go.
Finnair 4003 is cleared to Echo Foxtrot Hotel
Yeah,
Kilo.
you can
as
see the
filed.
inside, that's nice.
Climb and maintain flight level 060. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Squawk 3144.
60. Squawk
Finnair
3144.
4003 readback correct. Contact us for IFR release when number 1 for departure.
31.
We'll contact you for IFR release. Finnair 4003.
Let me see here. Contact us for IFR release when number 1 for departure. Okay, that's interesting. So it's just like a non-standard airport. Do we have a frequency here?
We're ready to go when you are.
It doesn't seem like it, so I guess it's like a, what's it called? Unmanned tower. That's the name. Let's see if we can get the hotel mode working, just because it would be very cool. We'll add the beacon light. Yeah, I think it's on somewhat. Now we don't need to do that. You can do seatbelt signs on. Okay, let's see. Do we need to Finnair 4003 ready for engine start?
Finnair 4003, this is Tampere Center on 121.3. Sorry, I can't handle that request.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't need to do that, right? I guess you would have someone you're in contact with on this. Let's get all the doors closed. That should be it. Let's find a nice viewpoint from the outside perspective. I think I'll do that one. I really like the Carenado. They make the best cabins in P3D. Because you can actually be within them and they work. So the only thing we want to do is try the hotel mode, just for my own fun. Okay, we have the prop brake. It should be the second one, I think. We'll find out. Okay, let's see. I think we need that one. Nothing yet. Have I missed anything? I don't think so. I think it might be those. And let me see, there we go. So it's now in hotel mode, I think it's called. So basically it's like an APU, it's not spinning. So that's pretty cool. And what should happen, the sound effects aren't that good, I need to get at some point. I think they're not awful, but maybe not the best. Talking about actually landing elevation, let's have a look at my, I'm gonna look at my iPad quickly here on the side, because I'm pretty sure I have Helsinki in it. EFHK, do I? I have Stockholm here. Yeah, I have Helsinki. So what's that? It's around 150 if I remember correctly, and we're doing 4 right. So the ILS to 4 right, that's at, let's have a look. We're talking around, and let's see, 150 exactly. That's going to be the landing elevation. Okay, 200 I guess, or should we do 100? I guess lower. Okay, so now if we want that one to move again, we'll do this. It should get spinning, I hope. Potentially you need to bring it up a notch, but let me see. It's not flawless, let's put it that way. Let me see if I start the other one. Maybe that will kind of work. This one should hopefully move. Fingers crossed. Are both in hotel mode now? Maybe I've broken the plane. But this is, I guess, one of those. Okay, I'm gonna go back to this view and let me have a look. Potentially that was the case, right? I didn't have the valves. Yeah, probably a bit not the smartest. So I didn't even have them in hotel mode, to be honest, because I guess we'd still need the valve to be open. But yeah, you should have it like that, and then on, and then I think this one on FDR. So yeah, something to keep in mind for the future. Let's put our nose down a tiny bit. We can also set our flaps to 15. So you'll see the flaps coming down here. Looking pretty good. It's a well-modeled aircraft in that sense. Funny how I thought it was the aircraft's fault, but it was just me who hadn't done the fuel flows appropriately. It's very loud, the aircraft, so that's something to keep in mind. Actually extremely loud, but we'll survive. The thing we want to do is set, I think we can use the yaw dampener, but there's something you need to do before you can Yeah, exactly, so there we go with the LNAV. I also usually put a VNAV or a vertical speed just so I have something to aim for with the flight directors. We can also, I think, we don't want to arm the altitude. Let me just check if I remember how you... I think it's sufficient to do it like that, you don't need to arm it actually, so that's something I had forgotten. Other than that, I think it's looking good. The yoke is moving, so that's good. We have it on takeoff. We can do this final one, the bleeds. One thing we need to keep that on. And I think that should be about it. You also have the fire test. We didn't do that earlier, but that's, I guess, cool that it has that. The circuit breakers doesn't work, something to keep in mind. Oh yeah, external power, we don't need that. Maybe we can save it as this, looks a bit better. Okay, taxi and takeoff. Is that the strobe light or am I... Yeah, the strobe shouldn't be on. We can release the parking brakes. You'll see we're already moving a tiny bit. If we use our tiller, you'll notice that it works pretty well. So we'll just taxi here and prepare for takeoff. To be honest, I think this is still the best Carenado one. The Fokker one and the Saab one are okay, but I still feel like this one takes the prize. I want to try the Embraer 120 at some point as well. Just haven't had the time to buy it or felt the need. Finnair 4003 ready for takeoff.
Finnair
IFR release.
4003, this is Tampere Center on 121.3. Sorry, I can't handle that request.
We're prepared for takeoff.
Let's have the co-pilot do it.
Center Finnair 4003, number 1 for departure runway tree 2 ready
Strobes,
for
landing
IFR
lights,
release.
that's good.
Finnair 4003, you are released for departure runway 32. After takeoff, turn left to heading 105, then proceed direct Alpha Mike Alpha Sierra uniform. Climb and maintain flight level 060. Release for departure void at 1848 Zulu. Advise with alternate intentions no later than 1853 Zulu.
105.
1841 Zulu.
So 105, we can put that as our
Finnair
heading.
4003 released for departure runway 32 after takeoff. Turn left to heading 105, then direct Alpha Mike
Okay,
Alpha
we have the
Sierra
heading set.
uniform. Climb
That's good.
and maintain flight level 060.
Good,
Release
we are
for departure void at
ready,
1848 Zulu.
give or take.
Finnair 4003.
I don't think we'll need to use the heading one, but I put it anyway, just so we have that.
When airborne.
Wilco Finnair 4003.
Okay. Now we'll turn here. Something to just kind of reiterate is that when I use the freeware airports, I usually remove their own photoreal, so it meshes a bit better. So that's why some of them look a bit uglier than they otherwise look. And the reason is, of course, for mesh, but also to fix some of the autogen issues you will have from time to time where it won't spawn because of incompatible photoreal. If you look at the weather, you can see we have pretty nice skies, cumulus clouds, etc. That's always fun to fly in. We can check if our wipers are working, and they are. It's not the best rain effects, but they're decent. We can also do our little turn here. Use the available runway. And turn. Okay, let's see. We're climbing to 6,000. We're gonna climb. No specific climb until we turn left to heading. That makes no sense. Turn left to heading. Oh, it's just the intercept. I don't think it. 105. It doesn't really make any sense. Then intercept, yeah, but oh well, not a biggie. Takeoff power is set. All the gauges are looking good. Low pitch, that's on auto. And we'll go to... Do you use max maybe, I think, when on takeoff? Or do you just use... I think you use max power, right? Let me check before we take off. ATR set to max power. Let me see, to use max power on take. Apply takeoff power to 90% torque. Yeah, it does seem to be max. Okay. Climb at 120 knots up to acceleration altitude. Okay, let's wish ourselves good luck. Hopefully it all goes well. If it doesn't, we had a good run. Okay, airspeed alive. Leave on. Rotate. Oh, almost hit the ground there. Okay, let's see. We can turn to the right already. I'm gonna trim it a bit. I think we went a bit low on the trim. Okay. Still looking pretty good. Some weirdness with the autogen here, but it's hard to get the right data if I remember the explanation correctly. I think we can go to normal torque and climb. Trim a bit. So we're climbing relatively slowly. Let's climb at around 800. Hopefully that should be better. Looking pretty good. It is quite fun to fly though, I must say, even though it's not... I mean, if the, for example, let's say virtual call was at this level, some of their planes would be fun to fly, like the A220. So I'll give Carenado that still. They have some departments that they are doing quite well. And that was beeping because of what? Something. Let me see. I'm gonna put on autopilot for now. I'm just gonna check if we forgot to do anything specific. Mainly worried about pressurization, but I don't think there's anything specific that you need to do in that regard. We can close the door. And that needs to be on. I think weather radar is usually on. Just gonna check that I'm not... Gust lock is off. It's always when there's some beeping it gets me a bit worried that I might be missing something, but so far so good. Should be a bit more forest here, so that's a bit of a bummer. Let's do a radio check.
Center Finnair 4003 radio check.
Let's go to
Finnair
standard.
4003, you are loud and clear.
Good.
Roger. Thank you, Finnair 4003.
We can keep those till 10,000. We'll shut the seatbelt signs. I'll check that we have done it as well on the Pack X, so that's good. We are climbing relatively nicely. No weird things as of now. You can climb a bit quicker. Looks very nice. How's the... Yeah, this looks very cool actually. Okay, we're soon at Amasu. Hopefully we get higher clearances. Okay, we're about to reach 6,000. Oh, this is the
Center
one
Finnair
we might want to say.
400, climbing to flight level 060.
Okay, we're in the
Finnair
clouds now.
4003, good morning. Finnair 4003, climb and maintain flight level 110.
110
Climb and
it
maintain
is.
flight level 110, Finnair 4003.
How many of these ATRs have been built? That's the good question. Probably a lot. 1,233. So quite a bit, while the ATR 42 has 500. And I guess their main competitor is Bombardier, right? And that one has built, well, 1,258. So still a bit more of those, but it's gonna be less than the ATR soon, I presume. And let's see, in terms of can you see kind of operators? See ATR orders. 35 were delivered in 2023. No, in 2024. there's still quite a bit of orders. Turkish Navy, Royal Malaysian Air Force, etc. So yeah, quite a few. Let's climb a bit slower. I'll put this up because we are gonna get the higher clearances. Eventually, at least. I think the fuel should be sufficient. Fingers crossed. But let's see. We still have 50 minutes to go. And we're burning fuel relatively quickly. How's the outside looking? Looking pretty good. Let's see if I should take a new thumbnail. Let's do it. This should be fine. I hope. Looks good enough. Not the best quality one. Or maybe something like this would be nicer with the ATR. Yeah, that looks a bit nicer. Are we getting into some turbulence? A tad bit. I do wonder what the climb speeds you want to keep on this. Oh. One thing I didn't do was the flaps. That's a bit of a rookie mistake. Kept them on for quite a long time. That will explain why we've been shedding fuel and why we've been flying for so slow. And let me actually look, because I saw that X-Plane had some ATR that was released, but I think with like a 2D cockpit, so maybe not the best, but sometimes those 2D ones are really good actually. And we are still climbing slowly and steadily. We're almost at 10,000, so I'll remove that. I think we can climb a bit quicker. I feel like we're doing it a bit too slow now. So let's get up. Okay, we're gonna pass 10,000. I do think we'll be bleeding off a bit of speed now with our higher climb rate. Funnily enough, I mean, this one, as long as it works kind of fine, it's quite a fun plane to fly. It's just very basic, right? It's not gonna be the Dash 8 or
Finnair
one of those more high fidelity ones.
Climb and maintain flight level 170.
170.
Climb and maintain
We have
flight
that one
level
set.
170 Finnair 4003.
Let's reduce our climb rate a bit. So we want to go on cruise once we reach it, our cruising altitude.
Connect to the Wi-Fi and you'll be able to access our wide range of free live TV and state movie library.
Seems like Aerogenesis has released some version of there, but I'm not really sure if it's... Well, it does seem to work better now. Maybe I need to get that. Maybe. I do have the Aerogenesis one, but I'm not sure if I have the release candidate. Could be that that one is more stable. There's also A220 for explain a freeware one, but I don't think there's any cockpit for that one. Maybe I should do a flight with the virtual call. That would be a bit fun. I think I have the ISG integration there, so it's a bit better than otherwise, but yeah. Okay, we're bleeding off a bit too much. I'm gonna reduce our climb rate a bit. Lights are out, that's good. Pumps, etc. are working. Shouldn't be any icing problems, but we'll see. Oh, look at that. Is it raining? If it is, maybe we're flying to... It could be a tad bit of rain. Why am I not noticing it? Could it be the speed on these? Or maybe, yeah, I can see a bit of rain here. But why can't I see it outside? Maybe it's not really connected to the normal rain. I'm not sure how some of those works, right? Maybe it's connected to, you know, it reads a file saying it's rain in the vicinity. So we'll have a discrepancy with what you're seeing and what the aircraft believes it's experiencing. Are we... Let's try to climb a bit. Why does it feel like we're so goddamn slow? Let's see, are we gaining any speed yet? Looks like we're gaining a bit now, so that's good. If you force it up a bit higher... Okay, then it goes directly to like kind of high levels, so that's something to keep in mind. Does help quite a bit with climbing, but it's not really climb power. Okay, almost at 14,000. Let's put this back to the normal setting. Flaps are stowed and gear is up, so that's good. We have about 40 minutes of flying to go, so it'll be a bit of a longer flight, depending on how fast we reach our cruising altitude. Could take quite a bit of time with this slow climb. It's not a rocket ship, this one, that's for sure. Can probably go a bit higher on the climb. I saw, by the way, a new version of this Dornier. Let me see if I can find it. And here, Dornier Eco. Is it that one? I think it's the Dornier Eco one. That it looks pretty cool. It's like the newer generation, more efficient engine, etc. I think these are just some. I think this one is the rollout of the fuselage. But this would be cool, right? It's a bit stretched, etc. So it might be competitive. Okay, let's increase again. Now we only have 30 minutes to go, so that's good. Okay, we're soon gonna be at a cruising altitude. Soon. Some weirdness with some of these for real. I don't know why they have like winter. Maybe it's hard to get pictures of all of Finland in due time. I found the Swedish ones to be better. Okay, let's see. We are at 15,000 soon. Maybe we can do 700. Let's see, almost at 15,000. Slowly and steadily we're getting there. I really like kind of how far away you can see when you're using kind of 2D clouds. It does give a lot of immersion. I do wonder what visibility you wanna keep. What's like the most immersive or the most correct visibility level to have. Oh, now I changed a bit too. What I wanna check is how does it look from this one? Does it look correct? It looks pretty good. I think both of them are connected to the same one though, so that's a bit of a bummer. Okay, we are almost at 17,000 now. Okay, let's see, we're at 16,000. So we're soon gonna be leveling off, I think. Okay, that's the anti-skid test. Still pretty cool how they've implemented some of these things, even if it isn't perfect. And talking about implementing things, let's have a look at the minimums. Shouldn't be a problem. They're at around 350, but we should put that in 350. There we go. Okay, almost at 17. Anything we need to... Can you open this one? Oh, you can. Engine arm ATPCS test. So many things I wanna test. That's good, this one works. I mean, it's very nicely modeled for being P3D. There's no way getting around that. Okay, and we are now at altitude. It's captured. We are on LNAV. So we're gonna set cruise. And then we shouldn't need to monitor it. It's basically like Naruto. Just working. That's perfect. And since I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, I'm gonna put this viewpoint for you guys, and I'll be right back.
regarding our in-flight service, we will be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look in your seat back for our list of complimentary and premium drinks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. If you wish to make an additional purchase, please note that we only accept credit cards.
Radar low, Eurowings 8186, level 350.
Eurowings 8186, bonjour, direct Limoges.
Eurowings 8186, direct Limoges.
Jersey 933 Bravo, contact 134240, au revoir. 134240, Jersey 933 Bravo. Papa 4 X-ray Papa, contact 132190, au revoir. Rest on 32 190, contact 1 X-ray Papa, au revoir. Subjet 1 Victor Echo, climb at level 360, be level correction, subjet 1 Victor Echo, magnetic 340. Maintain squad level 340, subjet 1 Victor Echo.
Heading 2 X-ray November Brett 125965, au revoir.
125965, what is 2 FA November of 1.
Exagere 1734, contact approach 125 decimal 18, goodbye.
125 18, 734, bye, sir.
Rotor ATR 3 to Alfa Romeo, bonjour 360 direct Monac. Ryanair 32 Alfa Romeo, bonjour. Continue, Ryanair 32 Alfa Romeo, turn right, continue upon the link of the signal. Continue upon the link of the 32 Alfa Romeo. right 15 degrees for speeding.
Right 15 degrees, Iberia 33 my tango.
Good morning, Bordeaux, United 18 at 320, direct Lima, Mike Golf.
United 18, bonjour, and proceed direct Codem, Golf, Oscar, Delta, Echo, Mike.
Alright, direct to Godam, United 18.
Finnair 4003, expect the Lacan 9er Romeo arrival with the Lacoud transition with vectors for the ILS approach to runway 04 right at Banta Airport.
Expect the Laca 9er Romeo arrival with the Lacoud transition with vectors for the ILS approach to runway 04 right Finnair 4003.
Services, Iberia 273, Pablo 66. Iberia 273, bonjour, continue on proceeding from speaking. FedEx 273.
Thomas Cook 1029, right 127.860, au revoir.
0960, Thomas Cook, 129, goodbye.
I'm Maroc 77 Florida.
Bonjour, Maroc 77 for Lima, traffic 320, engine 029.
Bonjour, I'm Maroc 77 Florida, direct Amboise, descent at level 280.
Amboise 280, Maroc 77 for Lima.
I'm Maroc 77 Florida, take 1,500 feet per minute minimum rate, thank you.
Copy, we do that, Maroc 77 for Lima.
Eurowings 8186, continue on present heading from speaking.
Eurowings 8186, maintain heading.
Pittsburgh 2546, direct to Gaillac.
Kayak 50.
Link 215 Papa, Tango 134765, au revoir.
347, 134765 to 15 Papa.
FedEx Descent flight number 340, right in Whiskey Lima. Ryanair 64 Whiskey Delta, direct to Ipsis. Check the Ipsis, Ryanair 64 Whiskey Delta. On-site Golf Romeo, contact flight 133-240, au revoir. 133-240, pour l'instant, bonne journée. Ryanair 9 Whiskey Lima, contact 127-860, au revoir. 127-860, Ryanair Whiskey Lima, au revoir. Ryanair 4 Yankee, contact 134-240, au revoir. 134-240, Ryanair 4 Yankee, au revoir, bonne journée. Zero wing 8186, direct to Osmos.
Zero wing 8186, direct Osmos.
Maroc 774 Lima, contact 7132-265, au revoir.
32265, bye-bye, Maroc 774 Lima.
Finnair 4003 descend via the Laku 9. Our arrival with the Lakut transition to flight level 055 QNH is 1012 at Sinajoki Airport.
Descend via the Laka 9. Our arrival with the Lakut transition to flight level 055 QNH is 1012 Finnair 4003.
Finnair 4003 contact Helsinki approach on 129.85.
Approach on 129.85 Finnair 4003. Approach Finnair 4003 descending via the Laka 9. Our
There we
arrival
go.
with the Lakut transition to 5,300 feet.
5,300
Finnair 4003,
feet.
good afternoon. Continue descent via the Laka 9er Romeo arrival with the Lakut transition.
And we can start descending. There we go.
Continue descent via the Laka 9er Romeo arrival with the Lakut transition Finnair 4003.
And we can put in a bit less thrust or torque. And we are now descending and following the star. We can have a look at that's the iPad, see what that one says. I finally have it loaded with enough battery.
Good afternoon. We passed you 2,400 feet for 3,000 on the Attic 1 Bravo departure.
Let me see, I think I have Orbex open by mistake, I just realized. close that one, no point having the extra
Is it possible for left-hand turnout to turn around left
the
now
extra
to
processing
approach?
power going to that.
Yeah, approved, heading 090, then left turn 090.
Thank you, left turn 090, Solero 3860.
Okay, let's see. So we are looking at the ILS to 0 4. Let's see if I can get this turned. ILS to 0 4 right. But I need the one showing the. Here we go.
Fraction 6 Mike Foxtrot, speed is yours, report runway 04 inside.
11.5 at 42. And we're going quite fast, so I think we can go even lower on the torque. Okay, 11.5 at 042. So 0 4 2.
Fraction 6 Mike Foxtrot, right, heading 090.
Can't see it here, but it's according to my Logitech hardware. It should be correctly set up now.
Fraction 6 Mike Foxtrot, Roger, you are cleared for the visual approach.
And we are descending.
Clear for the visual and standing by for lower.
I don't think we have received any altimeter yet. Could be fine. The weather here is looking a bit nastier. I don't think I've seen anything on the weather radar though. Oh, because I haven't had it on. Talk about not paying attention. Let's see if we're getting any input from it. Anything that we should be careful of? Nothing that I can see. So let's just put the right nav as well. Do we have any backup one? Oh, we have this that can do VR. That looks relatively correct. Can we see DME anywhere? Don't think so.
Left heading 250, cleared ILS 22, fraction 857.
Anything else? Trying to see actually. I'm googling if I can find like an image of the, or not an image, but like a manual of the original FMC for the ATR. Because I think it had something along these lines of an FMC. Or something close to it at least. In terms of our missed approach, it's climb straight ahead, 2.5, and then turn right to PAVO VR, climb into 3000. So that's good to have that info. I'm gonna increase our descent rate. I do feel like we are not coming down quick enough actually. We should be much lower based on my own calculations. Okay, we're gonna reach 10,000. Can put on the landing lights. They don't seem, or they're in the fuselage. I guess they don't add any additional drag. Okay, we're at 10,000 feet now, still descending. relatively quickly.
We have begun our final descent into Helsinki. Flight attendants will be passing
Finnair
through traffic for the next
4003, say altimeter.
tables are stowed in future
Finnair
nipple upright positions.
4003
Please also store any
QNH is
carry-on items either in the
1011
back
at
pocket
Vanta
or under the
Airport.
seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related
QNH
tasks
is
and stow any larger electronics.
1011 Finnair 4003.
Okay, that's good. A bit lower of a QNH. Okay, so 9000.
Coast Guard 01, information Alpha is correct. Heading 060, expect vector silence.
Okay, 8000.
Finnair 4003 turn right to heading 210 vectors to the ILS approach for runway 04 right at Vanta Airport. Descend and maintain 4,100 feet.
Turn right to heading 210 vectors to the ILS approach for runway 04 right descend and maintain 4,100 feet Finnair 4003.
Okay, 2 1. This is gonna be a weird route they want us to take, and they want us to get down to 4,100. We can go a bit slower. And let's see, my guess is that they're gonna give us a left turn soon enough. Can't turn on those taxi lights yet. Let's see how the other viewpoints are looking. Pretty good. Okay, let's see. Are we getting any?
Finnair 4003, you are 16 nautical miles southwest of the airport. Fly heading 090 to intercept final. Cleared for ILS approach to runway 04 right. Contact Helsinki Tower on 118.6.
And I guess with that clearance means we can go down to
cleared for ILS approach to runway 04 right.
2,300.
Tower on 118.6 Finnair 4003.
We need to change. Let me just see if we can get the
Tower Finnair 400, inbound
ILS.
for ILS approach.
There we can see
runway
16
04
nautical miles. Still a bit high, it feels like.
Finnair 4003, good afternoon. Continue ILS to runway 04 right call when established on final.
Continue ILS runway 04
We're gonna
right will
turn
call
a
when established
bit
on final
more
Finnair 4003.
in order to get back on the center line ish. One thing we could do is actually arm the approach mode. So you can see the glide slope there, we're a bit below it, and we can see the localizers, that's good. So it feels like we have captured the localizer at least, the glide slope a bit more doubtful. We want to change this to takeoff just before we land. One thing I need to remember with the turboprop is to not go completely to idle, which is something I have a tendency of doing just from flying the bigger jets. Okay, looks like we are descending. Maybe we can descend a bit less, no need to force it. Something like that. Should get us back on the glide slope. Maybe it is raining actually. It does look like we're, let me check if we see, yeah, we're seeing some rain. It's not the best effects, but let's add a bit of wiper action here. I think we can also soon, let's wait a bit more. Don't need to wait crazy much, but just a tiny bit. We should soon be on the glide slope.
2500.
2500 RA Don't think we need to set that to anything different. Or that I guess is our radio altimeter, so I guess we can't tweak that. Interesting though, I didn't know it would show up. We're seeing the glide slope come down. I'm pretty sure there's rain, but can't see it that well on the windscreen. And one thing we can do, since we're soon about to hit the glide slope, is to drop the gears. And we'll do that shortly. We're just gonna wait a bit longer. Cool that we can see them in action on the outside as well. Yeah, maybe the weather is a bit worse here than I thought. I thought it was gonna be only a few. Yeah, okay, so it's going pretty low actually. Maybe I was reading that that one a bit too fast. The sigmet, whatever you want to call it, broke and that's scattered at 800. Okay, maybe it wasn't that bad. At least not in terms of minimums. With the minimum being 350, we should be fine. I'm gonna drop the gears. You can see them. Let's put a nice viewpoint, something like that. Gears are down and locked. That means we can do this, taxi and takeoff. We can also go to flaps 15. Okay, we're starting to see quite a bit more now. Seems like it has stopped raining as well, so that's good. Hopefully it will remain like this. I'm gonna change the power setting and go to flaps full. Okay, let's see. Okay, we don't want to be completely on idle, right? Okay, seems like it's raining again. Maybe best to just keep the wiper on, at least on slow, just to make sure. Okay, we're on 1000. I want to take control myself, but not really been.
4003 winds are
Oh, and we got landing clearance now.
knots.
Should have talked to them, but oh well.
04 right.
Clear to land runway 04 right, Finnair 4003.
Okay, we got landing clearance, 700. Runway in sight. Manual, or my controls. Okay, let's see. But it's looking pretty good.
400.
Okay, let's see. Feels like we have a bit of wind coming, so we will need to crab a bit to the left. It feels like we're a bit too low. Continue, 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 continue. Okay, let's see here now. Can we maintain the center line? 50, 40.
30, 20, 10.
Yeah, okay, keep that. God damn. I almost went to idle just by default. But hey, look at that. We beated the other aircraft, so it had to do a go around. Victory. Hell yeah. And now we can see that there's a bit of water effects here, but really not the best ones. Okay. Well done, people. We got down. Let's taxi off here. Do we have any other good viewpoints? No, we can keep this, I guess. So, welcome to Helsinki.
Finnair
And
4003
looks
contact Helsinki ground on 118.12.
kinda how I remember it. There's been a lot of
Ground
work.
on 118.12
I don't think this one
Finnair 4003.
incorporates all the new additions to the airport. We can double check that, of course, but I doubt it. And let me see actually if do we now have the preset? Oh, it does look like we have the, so we can even view our aircraft from quite far away. But yeah, here you can see it's this is the old layout, right? So nowadays you don't come this close. I think it's a bit different. There's a building all over here. I remember when it still looked like this, but it's actually quite fun to see it still looking like this. But it's a bit different now. They've kind of built out this whole section here. It looks very nice, but yeah, different. Okay. Finnair 4003 ready to taxi. Oh no, I think we managed to crash. Oh no, we're getting
Finnair 4003 taxi to stand 29er via taxiways Alpha Golf, Alpha Victor.
We are gonna
Taxi
ignore
to stand
and just
29er via
taxi
taxiways
here
Alpha Golf, Alpha Victor.
somewhere
Finnair
close
4003.
so we can wrap this up. Could have added a bit more AI traffic, but maybe it was for the best that I didn't, just because of that go around. Would have been super frustrating landing on top of an AI plane. Specifically because it's so unrealistic. I would be fine if you have it once in a blue moon, but it's, you know, the AI is always somehow at the wrong place at the wrong time. And I think you can see that it's a bit wetter, the ground here. So it looks a bit like it's been raining. That's pretty cool actually, that MK Studios have that. So let's park here somewhere next to this other ATR, probably also a 72-500. And let's actually check one thing, just because I'm interested in seeing. We can close that one completely, but I want to see if you can go like hotel mode in between. Possibly not. But if I close it, and let's say we wanna restart it. Okay, so now we have it on. The prop brake is ready. Oh, maybe it didn't work because I didn't shut it completely, and that could explain the issue. So I guess you want them to stop completely at first at least. Not sure why the left one hasn't stopped yet. No biggie though. Let's close these ones. Oh, that's awkward, forgetting the seatbelt sign. I guess we did fail in a bit there, but well. Okay, I'll open all the doors. That will get the deboarding, I think. I hope at least. Still haven't been able to get the... Does that spin all the time? Oh well, not the end of the world. We'll have to try the prop brake, I think, another time. Or I guess maybe we could start it now. See if we're getting the values, those are coming up. And now. Let's see if it works. Okay, it looks pretty good now. So now no, okay. I maybe I'm failing. Maybe it's the other one actually. Doesn't really matter. I'll have to check that at some point. I just wanted to show it mainly for. There we go, deboarding. We had a. Why can't I show you this? Well, let's save it. And we can then have a look, I think, at the old records. Here we go. View. We had a 137, so pretty good landing. 96% overall satisfaction, so pretty nice. Not the best, not the worst. Let's have a look. We'll close the doors. I will then jump into the replay mode. And just quickly have a look. And there we go. Okay, so pretty okay approach. Mainly flying with the autopilot. Pretty nice that the stuff is down. I guess this is the benefit with the more or less high fidelity ones, that most things are on. For example, the lights are on, even though I closed them before. Basically it's tracking everything, that's the nice part. Let's see if we also get the spoilers. So we're pretty center line. I think I do a bit of crabbing, but a bit too soon. Yeah, a tad bit too soon, I overcorrect. So we get down okay-ish, kind of on the center line, could have been worse. Trying to maintain that center line. Can we see any spoilers in action? It doesn't look like it, but oh well. Could have been worse. At least we made it. And with that said, I think we can round up here. Or round off. And if you have any comments or questions or suggestions on what to fly next, feel free to put them in the comments. It was actually quite fun flying this aircraft. I thought it was going to be worse. It's not the best one, but it's I would say in the hall of good, very good. It's very pleasing to look at, and it flies relatively well. It's not often you get like really weird things happening, even though there's a few. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, put them down below, and until next time, let's see what I'll fly next. Bye bye.